It's always exciting to get invited to college campuses, but so often black people only get invited in February. They don't really employ us after between Martin Luther King Day and Black History Month. We ride good, man. Come March, I don't see anybody's campus, so when I get invited in April, that's a big deal. That says to me that you all care about issues of difference, issues of diversity, pressing intellectual questions are being asked and answered on this campus, not just when it's politically correct to do so, not just when there's a special allocated budget to do so, but all year round. That's the kind of institution that I want to be a part of. That's the kind of institution that I am proud and excited to engage in a conversation. And this evening, I want to talk to you all. You all had Jonathan Butler here earlier, so y'all really rocking today. I mean, y'all had a really significant person, a significant voice of the 21st century here who's helping us to advocate and reimagine the world. And what I want to do this evening is continue that conversation. I want us to continue to think about a world that is not yet. I want us to imagine a world that is not yet. As we talk about the problems that we face in the age of Obama, the problems that we wrestled with in 2016, there are plenty of them, and sometimes we get caught in such a congratulatory posture that all we do is celebrate, all we do is talk about the advances, all we do is talk about the extraordinary moment that we're in. And in some ways we should do that, because there is something extraordinary about Barack Obama being president. There is something extraordinary about having an expanded black middle class. There is something extraordinary about an institution like this having this many black and brown faces when 40 years ago it would not. So I'm not at all cynical, I'm not at all bitter. I am incredibly excited to see what we have in this place and at this moment existing. I'm incredibly excited by that, but sometimes we can become so caught up in the moment, so excited about what we've done, that we lose track of what we have not done. So at the same time that I want us to celebrate the number of students in this college campus, on this college campus, who are first generation students, who are working class students, who are black and brown students, who are scholarship students, students who couldn't be here before, I never want us to forget that we're also in an institution and part of a world where institutions of higher learning have become much more like multinational corporations than bastions of democracy, training grounds for democracy, as John Dewey talked about. Too often we see universities becoming places where free speech is under attack, where workers don't get paid living wages, where professors get their labor more and more casualized, where graduate students see their labor exploited, where we see more adjuncts than tenure tracks, where we see diversity become something you tick off on a sheet rather than something that really wrestles with fundamental issues of difference. We're at a moment where universities aren't the best and safest places anymore. At the same time that we talk about mass expansion of a middle class, we see an even greater expansion of the working poor. People work every single day and the month lasts longer than their money. We got cities and states like North Carolina where the ability to marry who you want, where the ability to go in the bathroom of your choice that responds to how you perform and understand your gender identity is still under assault despite a Supreme Court ruling. We're still in this kind of world. We are in a world where every single day in the richest nation in human history, children of color, 2 out of 5 go to bed hungry every single night. You go to Detroit, you go to Chicago, you go to New Orleans, you go to Philadelphia. You got food insecurity, food deserts where you gotta go 3, 4, 5 miles for fresh fruit and vegetables. It's part of our profile. War is not a last resort. War has become our primary instrument of foreign policy. We continue to strip money out of higher education, strip money out of lower education, early childhood education, early literacy, Head Start. We keep taking money out of schools and dumping them into the rapid expansion of mass incarceration facilities. We are building first-class jails and second-class schools. And we export that obsession with incarceration, not just throughout the United States, but to Guantanamo, to Abu Ghraib, and to Gaza, the largest open-air prison in the world. That's why I told you all that I want to begin by imagining the world that is not yet. As the great philosopher Maxine Green said, I want you all to release your imaginations. I don't want you all to be prisoner to a moment, or prisoner to an event, or prisoner to a circumstance. Howard Thurman told us to never scale down our dreams to the level of that which is our immediate experience. What does that mean? It means that you can imagine a free dream that is bigger than the moment and that doesn't wrestle with the moment on its own terms. We don't have to imagine better prisons. We can imagine a world without prisons. We don't have to think about laws to prevent or punish sexual assault. We can say, how can we destroy rape culture right now? I'm not talking about some imaginary that can't happen. I'm saying right now, let us allow for the possibility that a world that has not yet been ushered in is possible if we do the work that is necessary to get us there. Now, how we get there is a whole other conversation. How we get there is what y'all brought me in for. Now, I'm a professor by trade, and so our job ain't really to answer questions, just to tell you how complicated they are, how nuanced they are, and how long the history people have been asking these questions is. But I'm going to do my best to offer somewhat of a concrete, somewhat of an abstract conception of how we can imagine a world that is not yet, so that we can produce freedom in this hour of chaos. How we can produce freedom in this hour of chaos. There are many traditions that will allow us to get there. There are prophetic Jewish traditions. There are radical Islamic traditions. There are extraordinary indigenous cultures that have their own conceptions and visions of freedom. I'm relying on my own sort of birthing process through the Black freedom struggle. That's my window into these questions and into these answers. I want us to think about, through the Black freedom tradition, what do Black freedom traditions offer us that can allow us to understand the possibilities of freedom? Well, the first thing I think we have to think about is listening. Listening.